Welcome back, brave souls. If you've been with us through the launch of this channel, you know the thrill of uncharted territories, where AI's unsettling capabilities expose the darkest corners beyond human imagination. Our previous dives into the eerie potentials of AI showed how the design of the prompt can quickly lead to the uncanny. But today, on this fitting Friday the 13th, we're pushing the boundaries a little further, prompting hell itself. Literally.
Eerie Aquarium has warned you. Subliminal haunting is our game.
Followed approach and disclaimer. We're not here to validate any beliefs or to extensively research the matter. We're here to explore the creative minds behind these visions throughout history. It's a game of imagination, and AI is the dealer, shuffling through the pixels of humans' utmost representation of fear, one prompt at a time. The premise is simple. We're looking at 13 different visions of hell, each pulled from the deepest fears of different cultures, times, and minds. As these AI-generated images unfold, we won't just be seeing the hells of ancient texts. We'll be seeing them reimagined and stripped of their original medium, exposing the raw fears of our humanity. The prompts we are using are inspired by and based on general knowledge about each belief structure and its philosophical concept of hell. They are not direct translations or exact representations from historical texts, as they blend actual elements from the traditional descriptions of each hell with AI's interpretation, trying to capture the eerie and unsettling atmosphere originally intended. So please don't hold me responsible for any subtle inaccuracies. We're just aiming for the feel of it. Descent into humanity's fears. Let's begin where it all started. Irkalla, the land of no return. They are probably the first people to imagine what they believe to be the most disturbing environment. For them, there are no flames or demons here, only an endless, dismal plain, devoid of purpose. It's an existential void, a psychological abyss, where the terror isn't of pain, but of eternal nothingness. AI's interpretation reflects this in the most detached way possible, capturing not the physical, but the absence, the loss of identity, a fear that's as modern as it is ancient. Moving on southwest, and a few centuries later to ancient Egypt's Duat, a bureaucratic hell where each soul faces judgment and trials, stripped of warmth and heavy with ritual. In early Christianity, things started to get a bit cruel. Gehenna represented not just the fires of torment, but the moral weight of sin, a new concept gifted to humanity forever. But here, the flames are devoid of moral authority. They burn without judgment, punishing without purpose. AI's vision doesn't judge, it just depicts, turning what was meant to be divine retribution into a cold, indifferent theatre of consequence without a judge. Japan's Jigoku is rendered not as a place of pain, but as an eerie performance of suffering, pain that feels rehearsed and hollow. It's unsettling because it reveals the artificiality of punishment itself, as though the demons and their acts are just going through the motions without any genuine purpose. Jahannam, the Islamic vision of hell, is inspired by the early Christian vision, but it's visually muted, a realm of fire that doesn't burn as it should. AI's portrayal feels off, disconnected, as though the flames themselves have no will to consume, so that the punishment lasts and persists. It's not the burning that disturbs, but the overall apparatus, the lack of intent behind the flames, and the slow, eternal suffering. Niflheim and Helheim of the Scandinavian Norse mythology depict an icy desolation devoid of life. The AI reflects this absence of warmth, painting a space as unnerving as can be, that feels hostile and charged, yet passive and disturbingly cold. A landscape of frozen ice wrapping each soul in a tight grip, where the silence itself is suffocating. It's not just the cold that kills, but the stares that will haunt our psyche. Going back to Africa, Orun Apadi, from the Yoruba tradition, presents punishment that is sharp, sudden, and eerily polite. AI renders this as unsettlingly calm, where each violent act is wrapped in eerie serenity. The horror comes from the mismatch between action and atmosphere, a scene that feels wrong in ways you can't quite pin down. Souls burn in endless pits across an uncanny flat burning desert, yet it's unnervingly pleasing. Reaching more modern ideas about the concept of hell. Schopenhauer's philosophical hell envisions a place of unending dissatisfaction, of perpetual yearning without fulfillment. The AI renders this as a bleak, endless loop of half-finished dreams and abandoned paths, a perfect visual metaphor for existential dread. It's less about physical pain and more about the haunting spectre of a life perpetually incomplete. A new take that's refreshingly dark. I understand that we are stretching the meaning of hell, but atheists and non-believers also imagine their own version of the abyss. Finally, and as a thank you to our AI friends, I allowed them the opportunity to generate AI's own understanding of hell. 4 prompts later, we got our number 13. AI didn't prompt fire, apocalyptic scenes, or torment. It came up with a place that seems constructed from the fragments of humanity, but reshuffled, distorted, and devoid of context. It's a glitchy, surreal landscape that feels trapped between code and consciousness. Even in other attempts, hell was never a place of eternal punishment, but a realm of eternal malfunction. What comes next? So, what does this tell us? For all the creativity poured into these visions of hell over the centuries, they all tap into the same fears. Of judgment, of loss, of endless cycles and timelessness. AI's vision feels strangely modern, a broken mirror reflecting not divine wrath, but the fear of a system gone awry. It's not ancient, it's not timeless. It's disturbingly now, happening as we speak. Perhaps the most chilling realization isn't what we've been imagining in these hells, but that in our modern world, we've built versions of them ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, the next, more terrifying version of hell isn't buried in ancient scripture. It's right here, in the making, waiting for us to prompt it into existence. The Eerie Aquarium is waiting,